The one and only Mac Miller passed away at 26 from apparent drug overdose. I guess for me, it kind of hit me a little bit because back in 2011, when Blue Slide Park came out, I did not listen to it at first. Everybody was talking about it, so I decided to give it a listen. My buddy had it on his phone, and we were listening to his car. And the first thing I did when he dropped me off at my house, I actually went to Best Buy, and I bought a hard copy CD of Blue Slide Park. It's the last hard copy CD I ever bought. And I would play that on repeat every day, basically the last 3 months of high school, every day going and coming from high school. I went the next year, 2012. I saw him live in concert. Actually, the last hip hop concert I went to was that concert back in 2012, besides Lollapalooza. And it was one of the best experiences I ever had. He had the crowd going. I've never experienced that in terms of, I mean, it was a college town, Madison, Wisconsin. But it was one of the best experiences, the way he had everybody going. You know, I lost all my friends in the crowd, and everybody around me was just vibing to the music and everything like that, and just going nuts. So it definitely kind of hit home. I know Jeff, our cameraman here, was asking what our favorite projects were by him. I think the earlier stuff for me, I liked the best. Blue Slide Park, obviously. Macadelic was a fantastic mixtape he came out with. And then I would also say Watching Movies with the Lights Off was also a great album, in my opinion, in that. What are your guys' takes on Mac's career, the influence he had on hip-hop? Obviously, he also comes from not necessarily a great hotbed for hip-hop, coming from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So what were your guys' reactions as well to when you heard the news he passed away?
My wife texted me. That's how I found out. I thought it was bullshit because when she texted me, only the TMZ article was buzzing. So it hadn't even reached like celebrities were talking about it, anything like that. So like when I Googled Mac Miller, there were no articles to be found. You know what I'm saying? Like TMZ had just put the article out, so it hadn't caught fire. So I'm like, oh nah, you know, they probably jumping the gun on some bullshit, or it probably wasn't Mac, you know, whatever. So then I decided to pull it up on my work computer, and then I found the fucking article. I'm like, damn, this shit might be real. Then I tell this dude, you know, I text him while I'm, you know, at the 9 to 5, like, yo, Mac just passed away. And then his reaction was like, gee, don't say that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing. And then he was like, you know, wait till his camp say it or something. And then literally 5 minutes later, he texted me like, yo, Ronnie 2K just talked about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Crooked Eye just said some shit like, this shit really happened, bro. And it's so crazy because arguably he dropped one of the hottest albums this year, period. Yeah, like, even if you don't think it's one of the hottest albums, like regardless, it's up there. It's contender. You know what I'm saying? From top to bottom.
That's not top 10.
This top 10. Period. Top 5. If we being honest, really top 5. You can't name 5 other albums that has came out this year better than that, and it definitely shocked the world almost.
For me, I didn't believe it either at first. One of my guys actually sent it into our group and said, yo, did y'all hear about Mac? I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Normally, because I don't like to play with celebrity lies. I know a lot of people like to do that on Twitter, but to be honest, that's like the lamest shit I've ever heard. Like, you don't play with people's life like that. So I waited until the CNN, I think there was a CNN update that came later on throughout the day when I had found out. And my thing is, I felt bad that he passed away because for one, and this is completely my fault, I didn't give Mac Miller's music the chance that it was supposed to, because when he came out with a lot of heavy hitters too. And I feel like with him for me, he just got lost in the sea. And I know for a fact that he makes good music, but it never came upon me to like give it a listen. And I feel like when his album dropped, and I'm like, okay, his album dropped, cool, I'm gonna give it a listen. But then like I hit when him passed away, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, I almost felt like I was getting robbed, and I'm not trying to be funny at all. Like, I genuinely felt like I got robbed, because it's like people like me, you know, we feel like we missed him. So, you know, when you listen to the album is dope, first of all. So I agree with that. His album is genuinely dope. If you talk about the beginning to the end, production, lyrics, like that literally had me like, damn, maybe I need to go back and I need to listen to some of his past. So and actually what I don't like is, that needs to be addressed is people on Twitter, just because people weren't fans of artists around the same time you were, that doesn't mean they can't become fans of that said individual now. People can say RIP to artists and show respect. People do it all the time. Just because someone didn't listen to them when they first came out, that doesn't necessarily mean that they were trash. That just means that they probably got lost. Because there's a lot of music that's came out this year. There's a lot of new artists that have came out. And Mac Miller has been well respected in the hip hop community because you saw the devastation on Twitter. The reaction that you get from artists. Mac Miller was one of those people that he wasn't really like in the limelight type of person. He was a behind the scenes type of guy. If you're talking about connections and whatnot. So when you see the videos of him, like I saw a video of him, it was a Schoolboy Q, if I'm not mistaken. When they did a little video or something, that was hilarious. I'm like, bro, like people love this dude. So when he lost, that hurt. You know what I'm saying? Some people, and I think one thing that seriously needs to be discussed is mental health and depression seriously needs to be a discussion. Because if I'm not mistaken, you correct me if I'm wrong, he died from overdose.
He did. He had struggled with substance abuse over the last 4 years. He was very open about it. It was one of the major reasons his relationship with the one and only Ariana Grande ended. She was vocal about that actually a couple weeks ago when she was approached about it, saying that, or she had put out a statement or something like that, saying that I care for him and whatnot, but I wasn't going to babysit somebody about their struggles. And it happened throughout their entire relationship for 2 years. And one of the things that I hated about this whole thing was everybody was quick to Twitter to blame this whole shit on her, which has nothing to do with it. The man was very open about his substance abuse, and when we look at over the last 2 years, some pretty prominent names in the hip hop industry that have passed away have been from what? Overdoses. And you had Lil Pump, you had
Lil Peep.
Thank you. I really do apologize. I really do apologize, Pump. You now have Mac. Tentacion, he was obviously killed. I really can't think of any other major artists that passed away for substance abuse in terms of the industry.
But yeah, we just got the Bobby Brown movie on BET that brings back up Whitney. You know what I'm saying? So substance abuse, depression, all those things have been a focal point. You know what I'm saying? Especially recently. But one thing I hate is how the Swimming album went #1 after his passing. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily a hate thing, but it's more so what was that love when he was here? Like he don't get to see that now.
True.
You feel
that
me?
happens with every artist.
Yeah, it does.
And it's true because when Tentacion passed, all his shit was up there on the charts too.
But when you say Mac knew people loved him, because he was a likable person, and the fans showed they loved him while he was there.
And then to kind of piggyback off of what Zoe was saying, how people can't be fans. I can't think of one person that hated Mac Miller. You can't find no type of Mac Miller animosity anywhere.
That's what I was just talking with Chris about a little while ago. Whether you followed his music or his reality show or anything that he did, he was a likable guy. Like you said, he had
very charismatic.
Like the character Larry Fisherman. I thought that was hilarious, and I first heard of Larry Fisherman when he did an episode on ridiculousness. That's when I first heard of Larry Fisherman.
That was also his producer name.
Oh, that for real?
Yeah, that's what he was. That was his producer for Sony. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was actually an accomplished producer too.
The one thing that does piss me off, because I've seen this a lot too, is they're referring to him as Rihanna's ex. And it's like, whoa, slow down, my man. It's like my man's Mac was
a part of a wave.
He's somebody before Ariana. You know what I'm saying? So what?
Like people forget Mac is part of that Wiz Currency.
Oh no, you're right. That's right.
Wiz, like he was a part of that movement. Like
I just don't.
Part of the backpack rap.
And I definitely don't like, because I definitely feel like it was highly disrespectful, and I kind of understand from both sides. Like some people that don't listen to his music, they say, "Oh, that was Ariana's ex." That's probably the only reference they have to, because they might not listen to him. But it's like, okay, he passed away. We have the internet. Go educate yourself. My brother's out here. He produced a lot of music out here. So I'm trying to understand where's the respect levels at.
I guess being a Mac Miller fan, I'm happy that he's getting the recognition that I've thought he's deserved for a while now. But when his death, like he said, first happened, I didn't believe it. Fought back tears for a while. I didn't even shed one really until he was at work. Joe was at work. And we was talking, texting, and he said the lyrics to Come Back to Earth, I believe it's the name of the first track. They hit me now. And when I can't listen to it while I'm at work, while I'm gonna break down. And I was like, damn, I know what you're talking about, but I'm scared to listen to it because I don't want to cry. He helped me through a lot of personal issues that sometimes I still battle to this day. And like the beginning of the song is my regrets look just like texts I shouldn't send. And I got neighbors, they more like strangers, we should be friends. I just need a way out of my head, and then repeats. And like, it still got to me, but it got to me a lot. But it's like, that made me go listen to other songs, and I realized how much, as Joe put it, the cries for help were just there. Like,
if you pull up his lyrics to a lot of his songs, the cries for help was all throughout his lyrics.
For instance, it's Perfect Circle / Godspeed being the second half of that. And in that half, he says, everybody saying I need rehab because I'm speeding with a blindfold on. It won't be long until they see me crash. And they don't want to see that. They don't want me to OD and have to talk to my mother and tell her they could have done more to help me, and she'll be crying, saying that she'll do anything to have me back. And it was like,
And see, now reading those lyrics or listening to them right now, you know what's scary about that is basically what he just talked about in the song is exactly what has happened over the last month and a half of him. He got in a DUI accident that he ran away from, wrapped around a pole, and then that happened. And then he passed away. He OD'd. And that's what's scary about that whole situation.
and another lyric, I believe this was either Brand Name off the Good AM album, where he said, you don't want this life I live, you'd rather have the wife and kids shooting dice with Jesus Christ, putting 20 on the midnight. To everyone who sell me drugs, don't mix it with that bullshit. I'm hoping not to join the 27 Club. And 27 Club is a list of great artists who died before the age of 27, and Mac was 26 when he passed away.
So in other words, what it seems like, Mac literally was writing his eulogy.
Yeah,
That's pretty much what he was writing. Because that accident that you said, you mentioned it in the song, and if you think about the way he went out, like he knew how he was going out. That the cries of help are there, but it's almost like how much genuine help can you help somebody that's already like so deep in the hole?
But how much genuine help how much help was he really getting?
That's also
Even
a good
because
point too,
there's gonna be those people who's gonna come out, man, I tried to help him, and
I tried to do how much effort?
I actually saw, because I'm following D-Dot on Twitter. I don't know if you guys know him, but Mac actually did a video where he said, shout out D-Dot on it, whatever. And as he tweeted that video out and his passing, a reply to the video, this dude is really feeling like he could have done more to help Mac, and that's one of the hardest things about it, because even with people that aren't celebrities, we tend to go through the motions, and we don't stop and really think, like, should I say something, you know what I'm saying, to my brother or to my sister, you know what I'm saying, or to whoever. Like, we gotta kind of reconnect and find that human. We gotta stop being so desensitized to everybody else around us. You know what I'm saying? Because this is definitely something that has been noted. Like he's been open about it for 4 years. Has anybody told him like, yo, slow down, bro? It's gonna be okay. Like everything is everything. Like everything is gonna be straight. Like, and then now that he's passed, you got people really beating themselves up about it. Like, I could have done more. You know, you would hate for it to be a situation where it's somebody close to you and you feel like you could have prevented it just by stepping in or just by making that time to check on them or see if they okay.
But the thing is, I would say, we make decisions at the moment. You know, we feel like what we're doing right now is what we feel like is what's best for that person. After someone passed, yeah, we're sitting there saying like, man, I could have done something different.
Hindsight 2020.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, in the moment we do what we feel like what might be best for that person right then in that moment. And then, you know, later on you sit back and be like, man, I could have, like you said, I could have done something different. So that I would tell that person, you know, that's not something you should beat yourself up about, because I don't think Mac would want anybody to do that. You know, I don't think Mac would want anybody to be feeling guilty for, you know, what was going on in his life. You know, because like I said, hearing those lyrics, he was very self-aware of the potential outcome, you know, if things didn't change. So it's like, I get what you're saying, but it was like, you at the same time, you can't beat yourself up about it, because it's, at the end of the day, it's nothing that any of us can do. The story was already written. The story was already written, so how it was going to end, that's the way it was going to end. You know, there's nothing that we could have done about it, you know.
You know what, though, to play devil's advocate, I almost hate to, but it has to be said. The problem that I think us as men genuinely have, the reason why we have a lot of more suicide situations, I think, because first of all, we all need to understand that money cures nothing. Money will not change your situation. I don't give a damn how much you're struggling. Money changes nothing.
It's just the tip of it. It's just a band-aid.
That's all
that's
it really
eventually
is.
Gonna
right.
come off.
It's a temporary solution to a permanent problem. So what we have to understand is we have to realize, because now the question has to be asked, how much did Mac Miller really want to help himself? You can cry out for help, of course, but with this, we've already said he's been writing this in his music, so he knew the outcome of this. So now my question is, how much genuine help did he seek out? Because it goes both ways now. You can ask for help, but us as men, we have problems asking for that because we feel like we're less of a man because we're reaching out to our brothers. But then on the other end, our brothers don't know how to help us because we've been growing up in this household mentally to be man and just deal with shit.
Oh, but see, it's not just that either. We can touch base on something, and I put up on Twitter and Facebook a while ago. Men don't have that luxury. Men don't have that luxury of even being able to be sensitive.
All big facts.
The moment we talk about our feelings, and we're gonna say this in terms of females, the moment we talk about our feelings, we get shut down. We get called soft or a bitch or a punk ass. The moment we try to sit here and express feelings. Now, don't get me wrong. There are gonna be some who actually sit here and listen and try to help you. But how many of them are trying to help you, like genuinely, versus they listening so they can go.
Well, they hear you.
Somebody else.
Hear you. Yeah, they hear you. But
you know what I'm saying? And it's like all these different aspects of what could have happened and what should have happened. Like at the end of the day, just celebrate him for who he was. And God, that sucks to even say was instead of is.
a lot of potential.
And I'm just happy because I finally see. Like I honestly thought there were few people like that I knew where people actually listened to him that I knew that was lives he was actually touching, and it's way more than I thought. And I'm happy to see that, and I'm happy to see that there's like, you know, of course I know I'm not the only fan in the world, but it's just like seeing, like I can tell who those like genuine like they not on it because it's the thing to do. They're not on it because it's a way to be like, yeah, I was a Mac Miller fan. Like, no, they really went through some stuff. They grew with him just like he grew with his music. And it's like, I'm just appreciative of that. And to switch topics before I get all choked up and stuff, we talked about it earlier right before we started. What is one of you guys', I guess you could say, the favorite Mac Miller verse, or we could say song?
I really do enjoy the Swimming album front to back. Probably my favorite song. I gotta pull the name of it. I like Perfecto. That was a dope ass track. Yeah, that was a dope ass track. It's between that, the intro track, Come to Earth, and 2009. Those are some of my favorite tracks by Mac Miller. I wasn't on the Mac Miller train like in the earliest of his career. Like whenever I heard it, I've always listened to it with him because he was a huge Mac fan. But like I really like how personal he was with his music. You know what I'm saying? Like this album is definitely something that you can correlate with him breaking up with Ariana Grande the same way the album that came before this one was definitely something centered around that relationship. So like as an artist, I feel like he really drew from his life and what he did, and that's the dopest thing about his artistry, because you often hear art imitates life, and that was the essence of Mac Miller's music. So
off his new album, it'll be Self-Care. I really like that song. I feel that one. This for Mac Miller. What I realized in this music in this album, you feel that homeboy vibe from him. Like when I listen to this album, I'm like, are you like, do I know you? Like, did I grow up with you? You know what I'm saying? Like he gave me the homeboy vibes throughout this whole album. So definitely going off of you. I definitely feel like everything. You know what I'm saying? Like the production, the friend vibes, like Self-Care, like, cause it really had me thinking like, well, damn, man, I need to start taking care of myself more. You know what I'm saying? Like my art, my craft. You feel me? So that song for me was my
the one song that I can relate to, and I feel like, I've listened to him since he came out, really got big in 2011, so Blue Side Park is by far my favorite project he ever put out. I think when you look at that project, song Blue Side Park, Party on Fifth Ave is probably my favorite one on that album. PA Nights, Frick Park Market, Smile Back, Up All Night, Man in the Hat, One Last Thing are some of the best tracks off of that. And then, Avion off of his album, Watching Movies with the Sound Off is dope. And then the two songs you guys named as well are two of my favorite tracks I think he's made. But I would probably say my favorite track he ever made, and I think it's the one that, like, if you're at a Mac Miller concert and he plays it, everybody goes nuts because it's the one that really put him on the map is Donald Trump. By far, in my opinion. Without a doubt, that will probably be, if someone says, Mac Miller and they've been a fan of his since the beginning, really, when he got big, everybody will probably say Donald Trump is probably the one song that they can look back and say, oh yeah, that was
well, but it's a good song.
It's a great song.
Didn't age well,
yeah,
it's
that's
a good
true.
song.
It is a good song.
Man, it's a lot of different Mac songs I like, but the one that's been sticking with me lately, since his passing, has been this song off his mixtape Faces called Diablo.
Yes.
It was just
Great beat.
fire. I want to say a few lyrics from the beginning and a few lyrics from the end, and I had to pull them up just so I don't fuck it up. It's Rap Diablo, Macho when I drop flows, bars get raised up, it's me and PD Pablo, coded in Gazpacho, coded in the mono, rapping head honcho, rocking shows like I was Bono. I go, play a couple keys on the piano, the industry's a lie, all the promises were hollow. Follow me, I can show you where I bees at. How you get my G pass? None of your fucking beeswax. These raps bring your joint together like a kneecap. Shit. That and then the ending. Literally the tail ending of all this. This might be a little long. You can see me beat. You can see me bleed. I be with the freaks and geeks. Bitch, I never miss a beat. I'm Charlie Conway, Triple Geek, Gordon Bomb, Triple Deke, Gordon Bombay in these streets, ballin' like I'm Pistol Pete. Ballin' like I'm Pistol Pete. Been a beast, every word I spit, rewriting history. Look at what you did to me. Look at what you did to me. Run into the underworld with guns and set the sentence free. No bitches in my circle, I'm gonna show you the commercial. I've been popping like a colonel, reading Justin Bieber journal. Treat you like a urinal. It's like all of that in between was fire as well. But it's just the beat plus that, and then the video was just kind of dope as well. But it's like that's the song that's kind of been sitting with me. But Hoist the songs, ROS, fucking Doors, the beginning of Good AM, the whole Swimming album. But I have to say Jet Fuel and Conversation. Conversations Part 1 had to be one of my two favorite tracks off there. And it's just like
And we haven't even mentioned his last album came out 2 years ago, The Divine Feminine, was actually a pretty good album. He kind of had that funk, hip-hop vibe to it, and it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was. You had Dang, you had Planet Goddamn, you had it's a couple more songs. We had Cinderella. I didn't want to say Cinderella because I felt like it was probably one of the more popular. But yeah, you had that. It's just a host of other songs.
God is Fair, Sex and Dance with Kendrick on that album.
Yeah, that. And then it's a host of other guest verses I could choose from. But I just wanted to choose something where it was just him. It wasn't him on somebody else's track. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a song that was like on the album. It was like one of those, like, you paying attention to these Mac mixtapes, one of the gems that came from one of these albums. One of these albums are mixtapes, but you know, I'm Cash, that's Tim, that's Zoe, and that's Hobo Joe.
That's Joe. That's Zoe.
Yeah.
I pointed the camera wrong. See, when you was doing the outro, I thought you was gonna go Joe, then
I
Zoe.
was, but I want to say Hobo Joe last. I want to say Hobo Joe last.
Spin Culture approved. Catch you next week.